You can access the Packet Tracer help pages in two ways. First, by clicking the question mark icon in the top right-hand corner of the menu toolbar. You can also do this by clicking in the Help menu and then choosing Contents. Now you can access the tutorials by clicking Help and then on Tutorials. This is where I have watched the interface overview and the simulation environment video.
Tutorial Interface Overview.
Then watched the Configuring Devices using the Desktop tab video. This allowed me to figure out what you can configure in the IP configuration window.
Tutorial Configuring Devices using the Desktop tab. IP address, subnet mask, gateway, and DNS server can also be configured using this window.
As we've seen in the video, IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, and DNS server can be configured using this window. In this section, I'm going to toggle between real-time and simulation mode. I'm currently in simulation mode and I'm pressing on the auto capture play button just to see the simulations take place. And then I'm going to click the capture forward to step through the simulation and click the button a few more times to see the effect. I'm now going to click on one of the envelopes on the intermediary device and investigate what's inside. We can see in the OSI model tab there are 2 in layers and 2 out layers that have information for both. We are now going to have a look under the inbound PDU details and see what the headings are for each of the main sections. In this one, it is Ethernet 802.3, LLC, and STP BPDU. In the outbound, it's Ethernet 2 and STP BPDU. Next, I'm going to click back and forth between the inbound PDU details and outbound detail tabs to see what information is changing. On this occasion, I can just see the SRC ADD or information changing. And finally, I'm just going to have a look at the different sections up in the logical and the physical section and toggle between the two tabs just to investigate what is actually there. You can see that this is physical workspace and a physical dimension to your local network topology. Now we'll move on to the final part of this packet tracer activity, the challenge. Add an end device to the topology and connect it to one of the LANs with media connection. What else does this device need to send to other users? Can you provide the information? Is there a way to verify that you correctly connected to this device? So click on end devices and I'll use this PC. I'm going to connect to the WRS, so just use this copper straight through. Click, connect through Ethernet. Click here and connect fast Ethernet. So here we're just going to have to give this information, the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server. So just exit out of this. I'm going to check this network. I'm actually just going to click here, desktop IP configuration. So now I'm just going to copy this DNS server and go back to the PC that we've connected. I'm now going to assign an IP address, so 192.168.0, and for the sake of this challenge, we'll just assign it 120. Subnet mask is correct, and default gateway. So just copy this for default gateway, and now moving on, add a new intermediary device to one of the networks and connect it to one of the LANs or WANs with a media connection. What else does this device need in order to serve as an intermediary to other devices in the network? So for this step, I'm going to click on switches, and just for the sake of this task, we'll just use the 2960. And we'll connect to this WRS here. So now we go down to our connections, and we will go connect to Gigabit Ethernet 1, Ethernet 4.